Welcome to the BRICS News. The rise of BRICS. How the Global South is becoming a superpower. BRICS 2024 Expansion Explained. In this highly informative video, we explore the evolution of BRICS from a coalition of emerging economies into a global superpower. Discover how the 2024 expansion, which now includes 10 powerful nations, is reshaping the global balance of power and challenging the dominance of the West. We dive deep into how BRICS, with its vast resources, military strength, and strategic alliances, is leading the Global South to economic and political prominence. We'll cover the historical roots of BRICS, its growing geopolitical influence, and how its members, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and newly joined countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Argentina are positioning themselves as key players on the global stage. Learn how BRICS is dominating global energy markets, advancing technological innovation, and fostering cooperation in a world moving towards multipolarity. We also address key issues such as the India-China relations, the West's declining influence, and the role of BRICS in global governance. This video offers a comprehensive look at how BRICS is set to transform the future of international politics and economics. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content on global trends and geopolitics. Share more and be proud of being a part of the Global South citizen. It's your era. This video is essential for anyone interested in understanding the global shifts in power and the growing influence of BRICS. Stay tuned to keep up with the future of global leadership. Please comment respectfully with logic and proofs. Illogical, arrogant, blind comments from the West will not be tolerated. Let's start exploring today's topic. Let's start. The evolution of BRICS from economic coalition to global superpower. Introduction. The BRICS group, originally composed of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has emerged as a significant economic and political force. Over the years, BRICS has transformed from a coalition of emerging economies into a global powerhouse, challenging the dominance of Western powers such as the United States and the European Union. The recent expansion of BRICS in 2024 has further cemented its position on the global stage, as the group now includes several countries from the Global South, representing vast landmasses, resources, populations, and economic potential. The evolution of BRICS is a reflection of the shifting global power dynamics, where the West's influence is waning and the Global South, under the BRICS umbrella, is rising. This paper will provide an in-depth analysis of the evolution of BRICS, focusing on its economic, political, and strategic growth. We will examine how BRICS has expanded to include new members, its vast resources and landmass, its military and technological capabilities, and its growing influence in global governance. Furthermore, we will discuss how BRICS has managed to overcome internal tensions, particularly between India and China, and how the West's failures in military, economic, and social spheres have accelerated the rise of BRICS as a superpower. The origins of BRICS, from economic coalition to political force. Formation and early years. BRICS was initially coined as an acronym by economist Jim O'Neill in 2001, representing Brazil, Russia, India, and China. 4 emerging economies with the potential to challenge Western economic dominance. South Africa was later added in 2010, officially transforming BRIC into BRICS. The group was formed with the intention of promoting economic cooperation, development, and mutual trade among its members, while also creating a counterbalance to Western-led institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. Economic collaboration and growth. In the early years, BRICS focused primarily on economic cooperation, with the goal of boosting trade among member states. The group's success in this regard was significant. By 2023, BRICS nations collectively accounted for over 40% of the global population and 25% of the world's GDP. The establishment of the new development bank, (NDB) in 2014, aimed at funding infrastructure and sustainable development projects, was a major milestone in BRICS' evolution into a global economic power. The NDB was created as an alternative to the World Bank, giving BRICS nations and other developing countries more financial autonomy. In 2024, BRICS underwent a significant expansion, adding several new members from the Global South, including countries from Latin America, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. This expansion marked a new phase in BRICS' evolution, transforming it from a coalition of 5 nations into a broader alliance representing much of the developing world. The inclusion of countries such as Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and others significantly increased BRICS' geopolitical reach, solidifying its role as a counterweight to Western dominance. The expansion into the Global South is a reflection of the growing desire among developing nations to challenge Western hegemony. Many countries in Africa, Latin America, and Asia have grown frustrated with Western-led global institutions, which they view as biased towards the interests of the United States and Europe. By joining BRICS, these nations aim to create a more equitable global order, where the voices of the Global South are heard and respected. The inclusion of the Global South also brings significant economic and strategic advantages to BRICS. The group now controls a vast portion of the world's natural resources, including oil, gas, minerals, and agricultural land. This makes BRICS not only an economic powerhouse, but also a vital player in global energy markets. BRICS now spans a vast landmass covering much of the Global South, from Latin America to Africa to Asia. This expansive geography gives BRICS access to an incredible wealth of natural resources. The group controls some of the world's largest reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, making it largely self-sufficient in terms of energy and raw materials. Countries like Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Iran bring enormous oil and gas reserves to the table, while Brazil and Argentina are major agricultural producers. South Africa, along with other African members, contributes significant mineral wealth, including gold, diamonds, and rare earth elements. This abundance of resources ensures that BRICS can maintain a high level of economic independence from the West, further strengthening its global position. With its combined economic strength, BRICS is now one of the largest economic blocs in the world. The group's collective GDP surpasses that of the European Union, and its influence on global trade continues to grow. Trade within BRICS has increased dramatically over the past decade, as member nations have sought to reduce their dependence on Western markets and diversify their economic partnerships. The BRICS economies are also becoming more technologically advanced, with China and India leading the way in fields such as information technology, telecommunications, and renewable energy. This technological development is key to BRICS' long-term economic success, as it allows the group to compete with Western nations not just in terms of natural resources, but also in high-tech industries. BRICS is not only an economic and political force, but also a military powerhouse. The combined military capabilities of BRICS nations are formidable, with Russia and China being 2 of the world's largest military powers. Together, BRICS countries have some of the largest standing armies, advanced military technologies, and nuclear arsenals in the world. Russia, in particular, brings significant military expertise and capabilities to BRICS, with its advanced missile systems, nuclear deterrent, and experience in modern warfare. China, with its rapidly expanding military budget and technological advancements, is also a major player in the global military arena. India, Brazil, and South Africa, while not on the same scale as Russia and China, also contribute to BRICS' overall military strength. This military power gives BRICS a level of global influence that few other coalitions can match. The group is capable of defending its interests on the global stage, and its military strength acts as a deterrent to Western aggression. BRICS nations are also making significant strides in technological development. China is at the forefront of this, with its rapid advancements in areas such as artificial intelligence, 5G telecommunications, and renewable energy. India, too, is emerging as a global technology hub, particularly in the fields of information technology and space exploration. This technological prowess is critical to BRICS' future success. As the global economy becomes increasingly reliant on technology, BRICS nations are positioning themselves to be leaders in innovation and research. This will not only boost their economies, but also give them a competitive edge over the West, which is struggling to maintain its technological dominance. Overcoming internal tensions between India and China has been one of the most significant challenges facing BRICS. The ongoing border dispute between the two nations is a key issue. However, despite these tensions, both countries have recognized the importance of their relationship within the BRICS framework. Trade between India and China has continued to grow, and both nations are committed to resolving their disputes through diplomatic channels. India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has emphasized that the border tensions are being managed through mutual dialogue, and that both countries have realized the need to focus on their broader strategic and economic interests. The West has often tried to amplify the India-China tensions in an attempt to weaken BRICS, but these efforts have largely failed. India and China, despite their differences, understand that cooperation within BRICS is far more beneficial than conflict. The West has long employed a strategy of divide and rule, attempting to exploit internal tensions within BRICS to weaken the group. However, this strategy has been largely unsuccessful. The India-China relationship, while complex, has not derailed BRICS's progress. Instead, the group has continued to grow stronger, with member nations recognizing the importance of unity in the face of Western pressure. The failure of the West to divide BRICS is a reflection of its declining global influence. As Western powers continue to struggle with internal divisions and economic stagnation, BRICS is emerging as a more cohesive and powerful force on the global stage. The West, particularly the United States and Europe, is facing a period of economic decline. The financial crises of 2008, the slow recovery, and more recently, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic have exposed deep flaws in Western economic systems. High levels of debt, rising unemployment, and deindustrialization have weakened the economic foundations of Western nations. The Industrial Revolution, which once made the West a global superpower, has shifted towards the East, with countries like China, India, and Russia becoming new industrial and technological hubs. Western nations are increasingly reliant on BRICS for critical resources, manufacturing, and technological components. This dependency is a clear sign of the West's diminishing economic power. In addition to economic decline, the West is also experiencing significant social and cultural decay. Widespread drug addiction, unemployment, and the breakdown of traditional social structures have created a sense of disillusion among many Western populations. The promotion of hypersexualization, a breakdown in family values, and increasing levels of illiteracy are indicators of deeper societal problems. Western societies, once seen as the pinnacle of progress and modernity, are now grappling with issues that threaten their long-term stability. The open promotion of liberal values such as free speech has, in some cases, backfired, leading to cultural fragmentation and a loss of social cohesion. For instance, the rise of extremist groups and increasing polarization in countries like the United States and parts of Europe are creating social rifts that are difficult to bridge. These problems, combined with economic stagnation, have eroded the West's ability to project soft power and influence globally. Militarily, the West's recent record has been marked by a series of failures. The wars in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria have drained resources and damaged the credibility of Western military powers, particularly the United States. The withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021 was a stark example of the declining ability of the US and its allies to maintain control over global conflicts. Similarly, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has further exposed the limits of Western military power. Despite extensive support from NATO, the conflict has dragged on, revealing cracks in the Western military alliance and its strategy. Moreover, Western nations are facing challenges in maintaining their military dominance due to shrinking defense budgets, aging equipment, and difficulties in recruitment. The failure of innovation in military technologies in recent years has left Western forces increasingly reliant on outdated systems, while nations like China and Russia continue to develop cutting-edge military capabilities, including hypersonic missiles, advanced drone technologies, and space-based military infrastructure. The West's declining military influence is also evident in its inability to effectively challenge the growing military cooperation between BRICS nations. The strengthening of defense ties between Russia and China, for instance, poses a significant strategic challenge to NATO. At the same time, India's increasing defense collaborations with Russia and its own development of military capabilities further weaken the West's position. BRICS as a superpower: economic, political, and strategic dominance. By 2024, BRICS has established itself as a global economic superpower. The combined GDP of BRICS countries now rivals that of the G7, and its influence in global markets continues to grow. As a group, BRICS controls significant portions of the world's energy, food, and raw material supplies, giving it immense leverage over global supply chains. The BRICS nations, particularly China and India, have become manufacturing hubs, and their technological advancements in industries such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and green energy place them at the forefront of the global economy. The shift in industrial production from the West to BRICS countries has further entrenched their economic dominance. Moreover, the new development bank has become a credible alternative to Western financial institutions, offering funding for infrastructure projects and development initiatives that align with the interests of the global South, free from the conditionalities often imposed by the IMF and World Bank. Politically, BRICS is becoming increasingly influential in global governance. The group has been advocating for a reformed international system that reflects the interests of the global South, challenging Western-led institutions such as the United Nations, the World Bank, and the IMF. BRICS countries have been vocal about the need for a multipolar world order, where power is distributed more equitably and not concentrated in the hands of a few Western powers. The inclusion of countries from the global South, including major regional powers from Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America, in BRICS, has broadened the group's influence in international diplomacy. BRICS has been at the forefront of advocating for the rights of developing nations on issues ranging from trade to climate change, positioning itself as a voice for the marginalized in global politics. Strategically, BRICS's military capabilities, particularly those of Russia and China, provide the group with significant leverage. The ability to project military power globally, combined with a growing network of military alliances and partnerships, gives BRICS the capacity to defend its interests and challenge Western hegemony in key regions. The military cooperation within BRICS has been expanding, with joint military exercises and defense agreements becoming more frequent. Additionally, the development of the BRICS-led security architecture is gaining momentum, with talks of forming defense collaborations similar to NATO, but with a focus on protecting the interests of the global South and reducing dependency on Western security frameworks. This potential military alliance would further cement BRICS's position as a global superpower capable of safeguarding its economic and political interests in an increasingly multipolar world. The NATO alliance, once the cornerstone of Western military dominance, is showing signs of internal fracture. Disagreements between key members, such as the strained relations between Turkey and Greece or the tensions between France and the United Kingdom, have weakened the unity of the organization. European nations, particularly Hungary and Austria, have been increasingly critical of NATO's policies, questioning the wisdom of its aggressive stance towards Russia and the growing influence of the United States over European affairs. The rise of nationalist and populist movements within Europe has further exacerbated these divisions, with many European countries expressing dissatisfaction with the current state of affairs. Countries such as Serbia and several Balkan states have grown weary of what they perceive as Western propaganda and have moved closer to BRICS, seeking alignment with Russia and China, whose foreign policies they see as less interventionist and more respectful of national sovereignty. For decades, the West has relied on a divide-and-rule strategy, particularly in regions such as Asia, Africa, and Latin America, to maintain its influence. However, this strategy is rapidly losing effectiveness as countries in these regions are increasingly aligning themselves with BRICS. The Western media has often portrayed the India-China border tensions as a potential weakness within BRICS. But this narrative has failed to recognize the broader strategic cooperation between these two nations within the BRICS framework. While the West has attempted to exploit regional conflicts and internal divisions within BRICS, these efforts have largely failed. India and China, for example, have continued to expand their economic and strategic cooperation despite occasional border skirmishes. The mutual recognition of the economic and geopolitical benefits of BRICS has ensured that internal disputes do not derail the broader objectives of the group. The process of decolonization, which began in the mid-20th century, has significantly weakened Western powers. The aftermath of World War II saw the collapse of European empires, and subsequent events like the Suez Crisis of 1956 underscored the declining influence of the United Kingdom and France in global affairs. The withdrawal of Western powers from their former colonies has allowed countries in the global South to pursue independent foreign policies, free from the constraints of colonial rule. The Suez Crisis, in particular, marked a turning point in global geopolitics, as it exposed the vulnerability of European powers and accelerated the rise of non-Western nations. Today, this legacy of decolonization is reflected in the rise of BRICS, which represents the aspirations of the global South to create a new world order free from Western domination. Looking ahead, BRICS will likely continue to push for reforms in global governance institutions, including the United Nations, the IMF, and the World Bank. The group's vast influence in international organizations is part of a broader effort to shift power away from the West and towards a BRICS-led world order. The continued expansion of BRICS, both in terms of membership and economic power, will enhance its ability to advocate for the interests of the global South on the global stage. The future of BRICS will also depend on its ability to capitalize on emerging technological opportunities. As the global economy becomes increasingly digitized, BRICS nations must invest in cutting-edge industries such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and renewable energy. By positioning themselves as leaders in these fields, BRICS countries can ensure their continued economic growth and global influence. Additionally, the group's ability to maintain strong military and strategic partnerships will be essential for protecting its interests in a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. The creation of a BRICS-led security alliance, similar to NATO, could further enhance the group's ability to challenge Western military dominance and promote global stability on its own terms. The rise of BRICS as a global superpower marks the beginning of a new era in international relations. The group's vast landmass, abundant resources, technological advancements, and military capabilities make it a formidable force on the global stage. BRICS has managed to overcome internal differences and external pressures to emerge as a unified coalition, representing the aspirations of the global South. As the West continues to grapple with economic decline, military failures, and social fragmentation, BRICS is poised to lead the world into a more multipolar future. The 2024 expansion of BRICS has further solidified its position as a global powerhouse, encompassing a wide range of nations from Africa, Latin America, Asia, and the Middle East. As BRICS continues to grow and assert its influence, the decline of the West seems inevitable. The failures of Western policies, both in maintaining economic dominance and in managing military conflicts, have accelerated the rise of this new global bloc. BRICS, with its focus on inclusivity, mutual respect, and sustainable development, offers an alternative model of global leadership. In conclusion, BRICS is not only a formidable economic entity, but also a fully fledged global superpower capable of reshaping the international order. The outdated West, weakened by its own internal struggles and declining influence, is now facing a formidable rival in BRICS.